Brother Ron, and welcome to We All Be News Radio and TV, the news-free Dixie for the 21st century.
We All Be is on the hip on once again the one and only Dr. Randy Short. Y'all demanded it, and the power exceeds nothing what I demand. So here it is, Dr. Randy Short with what's going on in the Word today from his point of view. How you doing today, sir?
Man, I am blessed. It's good. I'm glad you're alive. People were asking, we had a falling out or something. This is not to my knowledge. Maybe Ron just needs some money or some rest, or maybe he's running from Coons. And Coons will make you run. But man, this is real incredible what's going on everywhere. Mm-hmm. I'm looking at World War III. Wow, it's just so incredible. So I don't know. So we don't go too long unless you want to do more of these. We could do a couple of these and do an hour. I don't mind doing an hour, but you have to ask because I'll just go off on a tangent.
I do want to focus in on some stuff. Like you said, so much going on. I definitely want to get your take on what happened with the Amber Guyger case, the white former police
Amber Guyger?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think 10 years found guilty of killing both of James or John.
Well, I'm not impressed until that mannish-looking judge gives her life. So I don't believe anything until the sentencing. In fact, that woman has shown her.
The jurors were given the job of a sentence of 10 years.
Yeah, but 10 years, that's not enough. Mm-hmm. The judge needs to, if the judge is not a coon, the judge will amend their thing and give this lady 20 years in jail. That's the least she could do. And she's so ugly, she won't have to worry about anyone sexually assaulting her. Okay? I'm telling you, she could be a child safety sticker. She's so ugly. You could put her face on everything, put it on the vaping packets. People would stop smoking. She's just a very unattractive woman. I mean, so now the real thing that happened with that is that the independent black media people raised hell. You had, Hey Kool-Aid, a.k.a. Roland Martin. He tried to get some lift out of it, and they failed. But people forget that this boy, his family is Caribbean, so he's not a black American, so it's an international event, an international embarrassment to America, so something had to happen. Had it been an ordinary black American like my cousin Freddie Gray or my cousin Emmett Till, she would have walked. In fact, she would have done a cakewalk, an electric slide out of court and gotten a promotion. So that black life does not matter, and it does not matter to blacks in power. You didn't see Eddie Reagan, that black do-nothing congresswoman down there. She's been silent. You didn't see Henrietta Hippo, a.k.a. Sheila Jackson Lee, with that, a third-hand bun. That thing is like weather beaten. It's worse than the tire. I mean, you didn't see her say anything. You didn't see that Escape from the Planet of the Apes caveman-looking Al Green. He didn't say nothing about that. So the NAACP, all these people have been like suckers. So before black people celebrate a victory, it is not a victory. People got in trouble because when Amadou Diallo got killed because he's from Guinea and he came from an important family just like this gentleman, Botham Jean. Okay. They're important foreign black people, not run-of-the-mill black folks who get shot down and killed every single solitary day. And if it's not black folks being shot down, most of us have poisonous water, poisonous air, poisonous food, poisonous churches, poisonous institutions of miseducation. Our lives are completely screwed.
She was more worried about getting fired on the scene of the crime when the guy was on the ground.
Yeah, but she was. She's going to lose her job. She didn't even care about losing her job. In reality, what really happened there was this woman knew that she had been trained to de-escalate, and I frankly think she knew who she was killing. You know, the first thing you notice when you walk to a place. Yeah, I think that he's the kind of black dude that didn't give her any pipe, and she killed him. Obviously, she's talking to the Mexican dude. She figured that all men who aren't white want to get with her, as ugly as she was, and he probably didn't take it. And so maybe he liked vanilla ice cream, but he didn't like her, and she killed him. And it's as simple as that. And what's my advice to people? All these swirlers, all the people that think that this interracial sex and porn is real, and all those folks are actors and actresses, if you can call it that, messing with the other people, it comes with a price. And we will see many, many more black people shot to death, killed, and the justification and the defense will go in favor of the killer if the person is white. Welcome to America.
Wow. I mean, like, I try to figure out, when I read the article, they say he was sitting on his couch.
Your voice has dropped significantly. What are you doing with your sound? I didn't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, what I was saying was, like, how was this guy a threat if he's on his couch eating ice cream, looking at TV? I mean, anybody would be surprised if somebody coming to their home. You know, you didn't recognize the stranger coming into your home.
There was a case right down in your state of Tennessee where a white man kicked in the door of a black family and was threatening to kill people in their own home.
Okay.
And had an attitude with the people there, threatening to kill the whole family in their own home. What the real issue there is that what is yours is theirs, what is ours is theirs, and that it's implicit in racism that whites have a right to kill, in particular if it's black people. And if it's white males, if they're really angry and having a bad day, if you look at all the mass shootings, although black men make up the majority of the mass shooters, they don't kill in the large numbers, although we kill disproportionately amongst ourselves. White mass killers have a bad day, and Facebook, Google, schools, professors, parents cover up for white sociopathic killers. Everyone knows these people are going to kill lots of folks, and no one intervenes. Let me be a black man that's halfway menacing. In fact, just let me be a tall or strong black man, be the most gentle person in the world. And folks are ready to call the cops, get a helicopter, Humvee, drones. And this happens to black postal workers. They have apps in your phone if you see someone black, so it notifies the police. So there were police in D.C., not police, black postal workers being stopped by the police because folks wanted to know what they were doing in the neighborhood with their postal uniforms on.
Wow, that's crazy.
Well, it's what we tolerate, okay? It's what we accept. The day we stop accepting it, it may be a little painful, but let me just remind everyone, this is the centenary of the Red Scare Summer, where black people, literally, really for the first time in their history, fought back against white people, and it was a life for life. Only after that did white folks more reluctantly come into black areas. It used to be like this Memphis massacre that you were talking about, or massacres that occurred all over the country, where whites would go into black areas and kill people, or beat black folks, and black folks would say, if we don't fight back, they'll spare us. In 1919, they fought back. In fact, that leads us to the first race riot in 1919 was here in D.C.
Right.
You always hear about Chicago, because here in D.C., for every black person laying face down in the pavement, there were 4 whites. That's not good history. That's not the kind of history that people want. So they always skip D.C. and start with Chicago. And they skip D.C. Brother David Harris is in my living room looking at the United States versus Moens, a white gentleman who claimed that he raped 5,000 black children. Had the black community so upset from 1917 when he was stopped and arrested by what was then called the GBI, the Government Bureau of Investigation, which became the FBI. They threw this man in jail. The black community was so upset with this David Epstein type predator, pedophile, molester, that the black community, due to this molester, which came out in about April of 1917, and just after that, in July of 1917, you had the East St. Louis race riot. Blacks began bringing guns into D.C. to protect themselves. And so when whites literally copied the massacre style of East St. Louis by attacking blacks on streetcars, stomping and killing them, and the blacks fought back. And that, in part, that was because the black community was angry about the molestation of their children. And this is why this case I'm referring to you, the Moens case, is not discussed. These people learned 100 years ago that black people would fight to the death if you sexually abused their children, and they knew. And this is why there's a push across the country. The coup de grace, the final effort to exterminate black Americans, is underway right now, with the help of the Congressional Black Caucus, with John Lewis leading it. They're moving to what every child deserves, a loving family, which John Lewis wants to hand over all black foster care orphans to white gays to raise them so they can be molested and be gay from the sexual trauma. This is what John Lewis and other blacks in Washington are doing, or it gets better. Did you know that as much as I don't care for the current Secretary of Education, do you know that she is trying to offer schools across the country sexual counseling so children will not necessarily be gay or drag queen or lesbian or confused? And do you know the Congressional Black Caucus is the main force preventing people from offering help to children that have sexual problems? This is what Maxine Waters is doing. This is what John Lewis is doing. This is what these coons in Congress do. No safe water to drink, no student loan forgiveness, no reparations, no end to home foreclosures, no end to food deserts, no jobs, pedophilia, gender dysphoria on steroids, and help the illegals and help the gays. This is all your Congressional Black Caucus, and I must say your black churches and your sororities and your secret societies are all in on exterminating the black people through immorality. All of them are guilty. All of the people listening, if you're in one of those things and your organization will not come out against it, you're part of the problem. That's what's happening. In fact, let me just bring it term to D.C. These perverts have put together a thing called the Community Safety and Health Amendment Act of 2019. There will be hearings in the D.C. City Council on October 17th of this month. I will be speaking. I'll get 3 minutes. The Community Safety and Health Amendment Act will decriminalize the purchasing of sex, which means no longer if you're buying sex will you have any problems, or soliciting for sex will you have a problem. Prostitution will be decriminalized. Having a whorehouse will be legal. Pimping will be legal. Washington, D.C. will become a hub for international sex tourism and sexual trade. This is exactly what is before Washington, D.C. If I told you, I've been emailing and calling people, little old me, right? And as you know, I cuss a little bit, and I have good reason. There's so many coons. I deserve to cuss. I have a fellowship. We meet. We do Bible study on Thursdays, and either on Saturdays, because I'm working on this campaign, we'll get more to that. We meet on over the phone, and then we meet on Thursdays. Sundays, Thursdays, it all depends on what's going on, because all of us are active doing things in our community as best we can. We are anywhere from 4 to 8 people, but we're getting so much done as 4 people when I think about what the little bit that my group has done, or the great things we've done, as compared to these mega churches, I don't think I'm going to ever be a member of a church again, because there's no excuse when you have thousands of people, millions of dollars, that they can't do some very basic things to help improve the quality of life of our people. Are you hearing me?
Yes, sir.
And what I'm saying is in D.C., I have been sending out information to black ministers that I know. And one pastor secretary let me know that she sent it to the pastor. I sent it to another pastor. I haven't had one pastor say, "You're right, Brother Short. This is awful. I'll go with you." So I'm thinking, in a city full of churches still, there has to be at least a good 500 to 1,000 black clergy in D.C. You mean I'm the only person unordained that's going to go down and say you can't rape our kids and our girls and our ladies and our boys? It's just me. Folk need to send me their damn tithes. You get where I'm coming from?
Yes, sir.
I was at a meeting for this group that deals with human trafficking and sexual trafficking. I went in my clergy outfit. Right? I'm glad I have it. The lady said to me, "I'm so glad you're here." I couldn't believe it. She looked at me. I looked around. "Yes, I'm so glad you're here." And she announced in a room full of people, most of the ministers that we've reached out to support the decriminalization of prostitution and decriminalizing buying sex. Can you find any more people like you in the church that would help us protect the children? I couldn't answer with sureness that I could. And I haven't had one person yet say they'll go there with me and say, as people who believe in God and the black community is conservative, even if we've got wicked people in it, I haven't seen anyone say they'd come with me. You know, the only person that's encouraged me really, that said, and they'll be out of the country, is Irritated Genie. Why is the rape of our children and our women and our girls, sexual slavery for our boys, why doesn't this bother people? I don't have children, and it's not that I don't love children. It's not that I don't want to procreate children, but I'm trying to think, people who have children, doesn't this bother them? Right? You understand what I'm saying? In Baltimore, the schools had to close after the first couple of days because they couldn't afford the air conditioning, and there was no air conditioning. It's been hot as hell up here. But you know what they do have? They do have their gay programs, their gay literature, and their gay clubs and all that's functioning. It's amazing. Even when New Orleans was flooded, they had gay pride. They had their gay parades as our people starved, as our people were eaten by alligators, as our people were shot down, as our people drowned. They had their gay celebration. I'm not obsessed with people's sexuality, but it seems as if these people's sexuality is obsessed with getting rid of black people. It seems as if it's us or them. It's not the way I look at the world, but that seems to be the way that they do it. You attack the church, you attack the school, you attack the family, you're pro-abortion, you're pro-illegal aliens. Everything that hurts us, you're for. And by the way, they say get out of our bedrooms. Well, damn it, they're in our children's bedrooms while telling you to get out of theirs. To the masters of hypocrisy and lies. So, and I need to say this, and then I got to say this, and I'm going to stop. This is my prediction. 2020. Remember, I said it on your show. Mm-hmm. Explosion and deaths from communicable sexually transmitted diseases will explode beyond what is this year because of the explosion in chemsex, where people are mixing ketamine, methadone, cocaine, and crystal meth, and GBH. One thing loosens up your anal muscles so something can penetrate. One keeps your jimmy lifted up, and the other thing gives you energy and keeps you high and makes you uninhibited. Mm-hmm. So they're having this chemsex where people can have sex literally 7 days straight. And it's all over Europe, and it's here in America. It's in New York, and it will get to Atlanta, where the black guys like making centipedes, where they all put their mouths on each other's rectums. and lick each other's rectal holes, and they make human centipedes and make videos of it. You're going to see a lot of black men have to have their tracheectomies, have their throats removed. You're going to see cancer. You're going to see death. You're going to see all of this come. Even the little young trannies running around everywhere. You're not only going to see them get sick, you're going to see a major increase in violence. Stuff I don't want, by the way. Mm-hmm. More horrific. You're going to see anti-tranny lynchings take a whole nother level because people are so angry at what's happening in the community. It's being forced on folks, and people are angry with racism and injustice. And these people that are doing all this deviant stuff are the low-hanging fruit for people to vent their anger and frustration about what's going on in their lives. And people like Malik Yoba and so forth, a lot of people's careers, you know, what's that, Old Country Butthole instead of Old Country Road, or Old Country Brokeback, or whatever that thing was this little dude had. You're going to see a lot of these people, little Kotex, right? Let me tell you something. You're going to see a lot of these actors, actresses, entertainers, and athletes die young and suddenly, and they will not explain what's killing them, whether it's septicemia, septic gonorrhea. You're going to see a lot of young black people die. Mm-hmm. And you know what? People who would tell them the truth have been muzzled by the Congressional Black Caucus, by the NAACP, and others who are all on homo-fare. They're getting money from the globalists that want a population reduction. White people are worried about being outnumbered by non-whites, so they're going to use this stuff more increasingly to bring about the destruction of black people the same way that they wiped out many of the Native Hawaiians with faggotry. Now they're doing it to us. And our traitor black sodomites are helping to exterminate us. And I'm not talking about the individual that just gets pumped in the booty on the weekend. I'm talking about the political type. You know that there's a black man, I think his name is Alfonso David. He's a non-ADOS. He's an Americo-Liberian. He's from Liberia. One of these Africans, they get these people from other countries. We have enough deviants that are black Americans, but they bring over deviants from other countries who really have a hatred for black Americans, and they put them up as a face. So you're going to see an unrelenting attack on the black community by the white sodomites through this man who's head of the Human Rights Campaign, which was created through seed money from gay pornography from Falcon Films from the Bay Area. Now I ask you a question.
Oh, wow. You said a mouthful, Dr. Short, and I think people have to do their research. I want to ask you about, how they come into the rooms of our black children, coming into their bedrooms. And we had a situation in Memphis last week that made national headlines where a black boy in a dress was crowned homecoming royalty at White Station High in Memphis, Tennessee. I guess he was homecoming royalty. I don't know. I guess, he wore a dress. He was a black dude in a dress.
A homecoming queen. Call it what it is.
Okay, I just and people was applauding that, and even the superintendent of the school said, he agreed with the expression of the students, they all about supporting students' right to express themselves. That's garbage.
They would never support anyone talking about black pride or doing something in the community. They support black people committing suicide through immorality. That's what they support. That's what they support. That's garbage. So here's what I'm going to say to you. A lot of the people that support that are also sexual predators who want these young kids learning like they do through the California Healthy Child Initiative, where they teach the kids to put lubricants in their anus when they're 4 years old so they can be penetrated with a penis in their behind. They're teaching them at 4.
Okay.
You can't teach people to read and write. Can't give them phonics. Can't do mathematics. So it's not only a school-to-prison pipeline, it's a school to sodomy pipeline. So your kids will be whores or prostitutes or strippers. And if they pass this thing in D.C., They're going to have unions. Look for the union label. That's going to be a vagina or a busted rectum with the prolapse hanging out,
Oh my God.
Okay. They're going to have unions, and that means they're going to want to teach people to understand. So they're going to teach people prostitution is good. And so you'll be able to, pretty soon, they will have people riding the poles as an athletic activity in school. And they will have people come to school and say, have you ever thought about being a gigolo? And so, you don't need any real setup costs if you have a good body and a penis. And if you, in fact, if you do yoga, you're flexible. You can, right? And they'll come in and people will get paid huge amounts of money. They've legalized everything except for heroin, cocaine. This is what's coming. And when the diseases come, and they will, when the new strains of AIDS come, they will. And most of the little stupid, deviant people in your audience who think that Truvada or Prep P, these are the little drugs that you take that's supposed to keep you from getting AIDS for about a week or two. First and foremost, the people that have taken that are suckers and chumps. There are all sorts of lawsuits, but word never gets around to black people when it's information that's true. Black people like lies and deceit. So Truvada and Prep P are toxic, and people have already destroyed their internal organs. So they had a safer bet, but they want to make their money off their initial investment. So there are all these people who don't have AIDS, but they have a destroyed liver, a destroyed kidney, destroyed internal organs. See how long that lasts you, okay? Now, that's a Prep P. Now, so basically, if you have sex with someone 100 times, at least 95 times you're not supposed to get AIDS. But what about the 5 times? And if you have sex with 1,000 people in a year, right, that means there's 50 times that you could have gotten AIDS. Just sit down and think about it. The numbers don't work for people. 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 And so at some point, people have to wake up and wake up and realize that you've got to change how you're living. And why did the same people who don't want you to have anything, why would folks who hate you want you to have anything? Why would people hate you give you anything good? Why are the same people that think we're subhuman, right? Saying, oh, this gay sex is good for you. Remember they said forced assimilation, which they call integration, is good for you. Try it, right? Smoking is good for you. Vaping is good for you. Divorce is good for you. Leaving your black schools and going to white schools is good for you. Spending all your money with whites and others is good for you. Whenever they give us something, it has a very serious deleterious and debilitating effect on us. Why do we go for it? And I'll tell you why. I meet a lot of Negroes that go to church. I meet very few that believe in an all-powerful God. Most black people worship white people. Most black folks have contempt for other black people's guts, or they hate other black people's guts. And there's not supposed to be an image of God anyway for the church, right, or for Jesus, right? But if he were black, most Negroes would become atheists. So we have a moral ethical problem. You can't get anywhere if you hate yourself. You hate the Creator. You hate your ancestors. You hate your brothers and sisters. And you love those that hate you. And you want the acceptance of those that hate you. And you need their pat on your behind or on your scrotum for you to feel good about yourself. You're already damned. And so we need to, the thinking ones of us, have to understand, like when they would tell people going into battle, the 2 guys next to you may not make it. For the black folks that aren't going to make it, in fact, that may be good for us. Maybe we only need to be 5% of the population. I would rather all the black folks that don't want anything, that don't want to make it, that don't want to try, that won't work with. I wish, there's some extraterrestrial vacuum cleaner would come and suck up all the black scum and leave all the people that were proud behind. We would be running things. I would love for the quantity and quality, but just quantity that doesn't give a damn, that's a waste of all of our time. That's why I don't like teaching. They don't allow you to teach. Well, that's why I hated teaching in your state of Tennessee. A kid come to class after the 8th week and ask, can they pass? I've never heard. See, that's how ridiculous. A whole group of black folks, they're already dead. I wish they weren't. I wish to God, I wish I had a magic wand. God, help me to save these people. I understand what's been done to them. All of this I get, but if there's no aspiration or reach or drive in them, then what can you do? I mean, so a lot of black folks are canceling themselves out, and trust me, the enemies of black folks have worked very hard to create this environment. If we help them, then their final solution that we all die off, and they have all the land and all the stuff to themselves, will happen. And we would have made it so easy for them to do this to us. We made it real easy.
Wow. I also, Dr. Shaw, I got to ask you about the Ed Buck situation out of West Hollywood, or what Hollywood, you talk about these drugs or whatnot, 10 6 you call it, and he's kind of like a pioneer in that sort of thing.
Well, no, he's not a pioneer. He's just a mass serial homosexual, sociopathic, antisocial killer of black men, but he's not alone. There are black men missing all over the country, little stupid black men that think because they have a bubble behind and a few extra inches of penis that white gay men really respect them. I'm not saying to enjoy it, but if you ever look at how white gay porn talks about black men, it always reduces them to their penis and to their animal quality, never their humanity. Never. In fact, let me say this. For all the black gays, they are suckers, chumps, sellouts, coons, the worst ones of them all. Why? The same black gays who bitch and complain that you won't look at a man with a beard as being the same as a woman. He reads a little homosexual newspaper, and the white folks in the little gay clubs have little codes that let the blacks know, don't bring your black ass to our white gay club. Those are their allies. We don't reject them on color, but we say, brother, if you come to our church, can't you dress like a man? Can't you just do that at the gay ball? Remember the past in Chicago that they received the little gay dude, the little drag queen, and he decided to defy the whole church. And this man got death threats from black gays from all over the country. Did those gays threaten Ed Buckner's life, who's killed at least 2 black men? Why didn't they do a citizen's arrest? All the violence that black sissies do to each other, they couldn't pop one crack upside the head? They're frauds. The only time the black gays have any power is whites give to them to attack heterosexual black people, to attack any morality, anything that focuses on the core issues of our survival as a people. That's when black gays have power. But as black gays get murdered and disappeared across the country, white homosexuals don't do a damn thing for them. Black gays are chumps. Black gays are suckers. Black gays are bitches. Y'all, the only time they're show up anywhere is to pull us down and help effeminize the black man, or masculinize the black woman, or to destroy the black child, or instead of getting help when you've been molested or raped by a predator when you're young, is to spread the pain. Why not expose the person that molested you instead of trying to be a teacher or a preacher or someone and do this to others? They're only available to create more hurt. They never say, I've been hurt, the pain stops with me. That's what makes me angry. And you know what? I think a lot more people are mad like me, and when the next thing like AIDS goes around, they're not going to run out and volunteer and help. Some folks are going to say, and this really hurt me. I remember this woman preaching at church. She gave this sermon, and she said this, I'm glad God made AIDS. And I was so angry. But you know what? I wish God would make something to shut this stuff down. It's just too crazy. It's absolutely. You know, I saw this dude when I was in Baltimore. He looked like Meadowlark Lemon from the Harlem Globetrotters. He looked like Meadowlark Lemon with titties, trying to pass himself off as a female. And I'm thinking, how long before someone kills this kid? By the way, I don't want anybody hurt. I don't want anybody killed. I don't want anyone to get anything. But you know what? Look, if prostitutes get beat and killed and slaughtered, right, and put in mass graves and all this kind of stuff, what do these black drag queens think happens? It's wicked, it's ungodly, and it attracts a pervert, violent spirit between the man who can't admit that he got a hard on looking at a dude in a dress, who once he feels nuts when he's expecting to feel the cooch, then he wants to kill someone because he was deceived or wants to say to himself he's deceived. You play with people's minds when it gets with sex. And, you know, it's one thing if they turned on. It's another thing when they get mad. There's a thin line between violence and sex. You mess around with someone's manhood, mess around with someone's womanhood. Come on. If someone just came around and started poking a stick around your penis, they'd probably get the hell beat out of them.
Yeah, well, right. Freaky stuff, right?
leave. When you mess with people's sexuality, physically and so forth, and you deceive them, you open yourself up to, you have no idea what that person's been through or their feelings about it.
Yeah.
So these folks out here, you know, I'm a woman, and you're still packing, and that dude might choke you to death. It happens. Even Malik Yarb and these people don't even want to admit that they've been with these people that they paid. There's a shame to having to admit that you're a dude. You can't hug or get along or have a normal relationship with the man, but you can give him a blowjob or get a blowjob or hit some dude with a skirt and, you know, and stockings on. You can tank him in the booty, but you don't have normal relations with your brothers like a normal man. I mean, as I said, I have great love for you, but I don't need Ron Hurd's nuts on my chin. I don't need somebody's. I don't need somebody's semen running down my face, right? I don't need someone stretching, you know, my rear end out. I don't think is love. It's like torture. So, but some people need that, and I'm not going to even say they can't have it. But you know, don't say that it's like mom and dad, because you know what? No child comes out of your rear end, even if it's big enough to be a baby, whatever's backed up in there. It's never a human being, okay? Y'all can sass, wag your head and fingers. When a baby comes out of someone's rear end, please let me be the publicist. We're going to make some money, Ron. Man, this dude had a baby out his behind. Man, we're going to get rich. I mean, we got the video rights and everything. You know what? And listen, we all be shocked. Okay, anyway, keep going with that.
Oh, I got to ask you, because like Malik Yoba was also accused of having sex with underage sex workers. I
believe it. Look, he's in Hollywood. He continuously gets work. It's deviant out there. It's nasty out there. But I want to go back to Ed Buck for a second. That woman that looks like Uncle Fester with an Afro wig on, Karen Bass, the head of the Congressional Black Caucus, she does look like Uncle Fester. She does.
Okay.
She waited for him to get arrested before she said something. Bitch, you're head of the Congressional Black Caucus. You mean, and near your district or in your district, you took money from him. Nobody could get this dude arrested? I mean, please. Maxine Waters, you know, I said that Maxine Waters has a brother. You've heard of him. He's very racist. Do you know who it is?
Who?
Peppy the Frog.
Oh, God.
She does look like Peppy the Frog with the wig on. She does. She does. She looks like Peppy the Frog. Maxine Waters, Maxine Waters, Kamala Harris, Hindu Kamala Harris, and Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi, the most powerful woman in Congress, the most powerful woman in America. They couldn't put one white serial killer of black gays in jail, as much as they damn care about homosexual rights. Apparently, if you're a white Jewish murderer of black men, it's okay. And by the way, where was punk-ass DeRay McKesson? Where was Con King, or as I say, Talcum X? or Martin Luther King size, Reverend William Barber, or for that matter, Al Sharpton, or, no disrespect, where's Farrakhan? How come nobody can talk about a white faggot killer of black men? By the way, I'm sad that those guys got killed. Why is he so, you get where I'm coming from? Silent. Where's little Joy Reid with her coonskin looking weave that she has in her head? She does look like Davy Crockett was a black girl. Okay, she does. Okay. Don Lemon, you gay. You screw white men. Don't you want the world safe for black men to hump on white men? Why didn't he say something? Where's John Lewis? I mean, you talk about getting beat. Maybe you enjoyed it. I don't think those guys like getting killed. Where's all this so-called black leadership? Where's Jeremiah Wright? Okay, where is everybody?
And where's Barack?
Where are all the gay
Obama,
celebrities? Right? Well, Obama probably watched the snuff films and ate popcorn with Michelle. Look, where are all these black gay artists? Where are all these black gay stars? Where are all these black gay basketball players and everything else? Since they always have something to say, where's Wanda Sykes' silly ass? Where are these people when black gays get married?
Great point, Dr. Short.
Where are they? I mean, and do you hear me saying I want black gays to get killed? No. I'm really angry. I'm going to tell you, I'm angry because someone that I knew, who knew people that I knew when I was young, went to solicit sex with white men, and a white man blew his head off, and they never found out who blew this man's head off. I would have never wanted that guy to go tricking in a park, but you shouldn't have that blew the man's head off. That's murder, right? I remember this. This happened in the 70s, and I'm thinking, and so white gays and others have killed black men for decades and never got in trouble, and none of the black swishers, none of the black LGBTQIAPZ say a damn thing about being killed, murdered, disappeared, tortured, made fun of, segregated, because they're chumps. The only thing that they do is bully. They use white supremacy, since their white lovers use them to attack us because we won't put them on a pedestal and they don't belong on one. They attack the black community. You never hear any of them. You don't hear Cleo Monogamy. You don't hear anyone talk about pedophilia. You don't hear about the molestation of our children. This guy named Lombard down in Florida who raped and mutilated black children and through foster care. Silence. You don't hear in Florida they parade black children underage to make them available for other people to screw them. Silence. You're a traitor. These days, we've gone from house Negroes to spouse Negroes. That's all they are. And so I'm angry at them. Y'all are traitors.
You know, Dr. Short, I also think about in the early 90s the Jeffrey Dahmer situation up in Milwaukee, where he was actually a homosexual.
Same difference. Where were the voices? Where were the voices? Where did, even when it came down, he should have gotten the death penalty. I worked in media. Where were the black people? Where was Jesse Jackass? Where were these people? Where was Kwesi You Fool Me? Nobody said anything. So, you know what, it's interesting. And we're all the powerful black, gay, loudmouth black gay folks who always throwing their weight around. Barbara Jordan was around. She's a big bull dagger. She had some power.
Well.
Okay, another one, Donna Brazile. She gay. Why don't she do something? All these people have power. The power is only used to castrate the black man, abort the black baby, and masculinize and make the black woman hate the black man and make the black man hate the black woman. They're partners to our destruction. I used to not see things this way, but I'm looking at how bad things continue to get.
Well, you know, like your cousin Bill Cosby, if he liked Bussy instead of pussy, he would be in jail right now. If he was a homosexual, he would not be in jail. They attack black masculinity. Like they try to attack Malcolm from the grave. They got the King. They want to destroy our from the grave who stood for black manhood. So
right, and they want to make Dr. King gay, and they want to make Malcolm X gay.
Gay, right?
They're gonna make Long Dong. They're gonna make Long Dong gay. Oh, those were all trannies he was with. I mean, right? It's just everything is whatever they think it is. It's white supremacy. Man. It's a bunch of silly, immature, destroyed, Luciferian black men and women. And I'm getting increasingly angry because all I see is our community falling to pieces, and all of the energy is being used. It's selfish. The narcissism, the malignant narcissism of the black sodomites has just really pissed me off. And it's not so much the person, and it's not the individuals. Let me make this clear. The weaponized sissy. Mm-hmm. The one who has a mission, I had a young woman tell me at Lane College, I'm a stud, and my mission is to turn out all the girls. They were raping the girls at Lane College. It's systematically. These are black women raping black women, right? Sodomized, because they didn't want any of the girls to be straight. Now, and this happens in schools all over the country. They don't even talk about it. In fact, black lesbians get a pass. Having a vagina does not make you a freedom fighter. In fact, it doesn't even make you a good friend to a freedom fighter. We have a lot of mean people, a lot of mean, unhealthy, negative women. They need to be called out, just like I call the men out. They're confused, they're miserable, and I'm just telling you, a lot of them have vaginosis, by the way. Mm-hmm. And all I'm going to say to you is judgment is coming. Our community can't continue to think you can drug all you want, screw all you want, whore all you want, backstab and betray everybody all you want, and then not be a penalty. And you're in America? Do you really think if there's a major epidemic of communicable STDs that's killing black folks, that they're going to open up their hospitals with the economy about to tank? Do you think they're going to pay to save these people? No, they're not. They're going to let them die just like I watched them die 40 years ago from AIDS. If they let the white ones die, they'll let the black ones die too. In fact, the black ones will die in greater numbers. I want to say this to you. 50 years ago, my mother worked for the mental hospital in D.C. called St. Elizabeth's, and I watched black men dying from tertiary syphilis. I've been watching black folks die from VD my whole life. I'm determined to never get one, never spread one, never catch one. But I've seen a lot of people die from VD. As recently as last week, my mother's at a funeral, a young black man, talented, but, he just needed to, what's the thing? Keep your eyes on your fries, I guess, keep your eyes on your thighs, whatever it was he was into. He got an STD, and he's dead. Mm-hmm. And if you start watching mainstream media, you'll start seeing more and more young athletes or young actors or actresses or entertainers, and they just die, and they don't tell you why. Mm-hmm. They're dying from septicemia and other sexually transmitted diseases that no one talks about anymore. You know why they don't? Let me share with you how insidious the gay community is. The older sissies who survived having AIDS, who are taking the cocktail of drugs to stay alive, they don't like hearing public service announcements about HIV, AIDS, and other things because it reminds them that they're infected. So these little gay groups, these LGBTQ organizations that are wings of the city governments across the country have pushed to remove AIDS awareness stuff from the radio and television. One, it gives them more freedom to screw and they don't have to feel guilty. And young gays who don't know how dangerous this stuff are more uninhibited. So that's what it's about. So people don't know. And they've made it legal in California to give AIDS to people. So a lot of states have decriminalized. They've not only done that, they've also they've done something else. They're not even checking the blood supply in certain places.
Oh, they're going back to the 80s. Means that
well, then people will die. But you know what? Gay folks who want to give blood won't be insulted when someone asks them, right? It's the same way we were talking about the stool sample or the stool transplants where people putting bowel movement in each other. And a gay man gave the infected bowel movement that killed one person, almost killed 3 more. So, you know, you mean we don't even screen the doodle that you stick up in somebody else because of someone's feeling. You can tell it's a white movement. Everything is about the feeling. I feel my feelings. Well, I sense, right?
Well, you know about Dr. Short, you remember like the AZT drug was actually destroying people's immune systems. The AZT was actually destroying people's immune systems. Like Miles Davis was taking AZT, for example, back in the day, and you know he ended up dying from pneumonia or whatever they say.
Yeah, it's pneumonia carinii, pneumocystis carinii. Yeah, no. See, I volunteered with AIDS. I mean, so no, I wasn't out saying, "Ooh, diaphragm." Nope. I says, "My God, this is killing my community. What can I do?" Right? I knew folks who turned their backs on people. I did not do that, and I didn't sit up and say, "Well, you earned this." Nope. What can we do to help you? Maybe you can survive. But you know what? That kind of goodwill, that's been destroyed by the way people behave. I'm saying this on your show early, so when you see people cold, who don't respond, not going to care about it, you're a young tranny, you want to go out and screw the whole football team and pretend that you're Marilyn Monroe when you're black, a lot of folks aren't going to feel the same sense of, wow, this is shocking, let's do something. They're going to say, well, shoot, who cares? So what, punk?
But you know what, right now, this is Bayer Rustin's wet dream. Or Bayer Rustin's wet dream. This is what he wanted, right?
This is Barack Obama's wet dream. This is John Lewis's wet dream. This is Eleanor Holmes Norton's wet dream. This is the CDC. This is the Leadership Conference for Civil and Human Rights wet dream. This is the Urban League's wet dream. This is a lot of people's wet dream. Frankly, certain people say this is the wet dream of a lot of the black churches. And some folks say it's even among the people of that other Abrahamic religion that can't stand criticism, that doesn't like any criticism, that always claims it doesn't have any of these problems, and they always attribute it only to Christians. Only Christians have this problem. You know who I'm talking about. It is a Khazarian Jewish wet dream, too. A lot of people. It's a Buddhist wet dream. Do you know why Hinduism is so popular in India? Did you know what happened? Where does Buddhism come from originally?
From black people, right?
Okay. Well, fine if you want to do that. It comes from India. India. Do you know what happened? No, not from Hindus. It's a different religion. Now, do you know what happened? What happened with Hinduism, or should I say Buddhism in India, is that it became so fagged out that it almost died out. That's why Hinduism, which is from India, as is Buddhism, they were so over the top with their gayness until Buddhism almost died out in India. So the next time someone tells you how much they love Buddhism and how Buddhism is, you know, they're like, there's Buddha, because you can get the booty in Buddhism, and there's no sin and nobody. So that's why they love it. I mean, and New Age and all these things basically say, do whatever the hell you want. But there's a woman named Alice Bailey. Alice Bailey, look it up. Y'all take notes, okay? Alice Bailey and Madame Blavatsky and Aleister Crowley, who, by the way, is the godfather of Jay-Z. Aleister Crowley was a drug-using pedophile, infanticide, gay warlock, who is the idol to Elton John and to the Beach Boys and to the Beatles and to the Eagles and to Jay-Z.
I heard he also was the father of Barbara Bush, the biological father, supposedly, Barbara Bush.
There's a strong possibility. She sure looks uglier than he does. They have the same face. Okay. So these people who have a Luciferian agenda, who want this, and I just challenge anyone, all the folks who hate the Bible, that's your stupidity, not mine. Whatever kingdom is going down, that's when stuff gets nasty like it is in this country. And it's killing babies, off the rail sex, sodomites going crazy. And by the way, anybody just read the Bible. Everybody likes Solomon. Oh, Solomon, he was rich, he was smart, he was screwing 1,000 women. And Solomon brought baby killing and sodomy to Israel. And Jews haven't recovered from Solomon's nastiness. He should be called Solomon instead of Solomon. Okay, just read, was it 1 Kings 11? I mean, don't take my word for it. God said, I'm going to just destroy this kingdom. It's so nasty. So we're in the same thing. We always talk about we the Hebrews. The Hebrews were fags. That's why God cut them off. Maybe we shouldn't be Hebrews. Maybe we should just get saved. Stick with the little religions that we halfway have that we don't even want to follow. Yeah, I said that the Hebrews were gay. Yes, they were. They were punks. It's right there in the book of Maccabees. They handed their children over to get screwed in the behind by the Greeks. Book of Maccabees, pick it up. It's in the Apocrypha. It's nothing that you can't pick up and read. And who has the Greek societies in their community?
Black people.
We don't learn nothing. So, I don't. So, and to me, there's something strange about a dude that needs to hit me on my behind with the board, and why you need to grind on my behind for us to be friends and we can't just shake hands? Why you need to
Skull and Bones like that too? The Skull and Bones, they be in the coffin screwing each other or something?
Yeah, well, and jacking off and all that. Well, they do the same thing. I heard about one of those fraternities before you join, certain ones, depending on who controls the line, they ask, can you suck a dick? Now, why would you ask someone that unless they've been through all this abuse to try to get with you, and then you put the dick out, it's the last thing they got to do to get in. Somebody's going to try that. So, okay, I'll just suck it. I want in. I want to be with you guys, right? Yes, this does too happen. Yes, it does. And there are a whole bunch of people in all of this so-called tough this. I'm no tough guy. All this macho behind that. This is covered in doo-doo and sperm. And a whole bunch of these girls are just these little idiots and these little things. They're wicked. There's nothing about it that's good. It's unwholesome. It's ungodly. If all these little secret societies did anything for black folks, why the HBCU so screwed up? Why are they bankrupt? It's run by these people. The Democratic Party is run by these black folks. The CBC is run by these folks. You show me something that's not bankrupt that black folks have, that's not dominated by these secret society people. These secret society people, they did speak up for Kaepernick, but what do they say when the police murder us? What do they say when we're mass incarcerated? What do they say when they cut off our water to drink? What do they say when we live in a food desert? What do they say when our women are foreclosed on? What do they say when our schools are closed? Not a goddamn thing.
It's funny you brought up Kaepernick. I know MLK III, I read a headline where he said MLK III want to urge black folks to boycott the NFL until Kaepernick gets a job. But his daddy 50-something years ago died for sanitation workers. You worry about a millionaire out of work? You worry about a dude that's an athlete that's out of work that got millions of dollars and a Nike contract? But your daddy died for garbage workers 50-something years ago in Memphis.
Well, you know what? If Martin Luther King III, I hope he hears this. He needs to put the Cosby Show back on Bounce TV. Sorry, nigger. They cut Bill Cosby off first before the white people did. Bounce TV, they have a Jew that probably put most of the money named Katz, and him and Andrew Young, the first people to dog out Bill Cosby was Martin Luther King III. Yeah, you did, Martin. You will never be as great as your father, though you're a lot fatter than he is.
Well, he's not starving. He's a millionaire himself, right? After they went through the
I don't care. You know what? I told I'll be the king in 2018 that people's reverence for the King family would decline steadily from April 2018 onwards. If they don't do something for black poor people, folks will no longer respect or have regard for them. And it's happening.
Yeah.
There will come a time. Where's Bernice King? Where is she? Or call her Martin Luther Queen. I'm serious. She look all like Cedric the Entertainer, all butched out.
My God.
Yeah, she's hard looking and funky attitude, nasty towards everybody.
But you contrast that with Malcolm's daughters, though, how they act towards the public. I don't know either one of them well, but I'm just saying, like, you contrast the families, Malcolm family versus King's family.
They both had mothers that were bushy, that had ambivalence about the movement. Okay, and once the man was dead, they turned it into a piggy bank, and they made their kids chumps.
You said, well, Malcolm family too was like that. I know his wife had, she was bougie.
Betty Shabazz. The Shabazz girls don't know the Little family. They don't know them.
Okay.
They don't know the Littles down in Georgia. Why don't you know who your people are? Shouldn't they know? And now it's 50 some odd years later. They don't know. And I have this from someone that's known the family for close to 50, 55, 56, 57 years.
Okay.
They don't know their kinfolk. They were separated. In fact, I'm going to say this, and I don't care who don't like it. When I look and see black folks sold into slavery, murdered, raped, killed all over Africa in the name of Islam, Islam has not shown me that it has any particular compassion for black folks. In fact, I see a heavy anti-black strain historically and culturally throughout the Islamic world. So, as much as I love Malcolm X speaking about racism and injustice, he unwittingly did us a misservice, bringing these Saudis and other folks who hate our guts and making them people we should look up to.
But Malcolm, we got to give. Like, he died at 39. They killed him at 39. He might have changed his mind and he got
Malcolm. Hold on, no, I'm not going to let you do that. Malcolm knew that Saudi Arabia practiced black slavery until 1962, and they still have it now. And they're starving 16 to 20 million black people in Yemen to death right now.
Okay.
And they funded the genocide in Libya. And they support the slavery in Mauritania. And they support the injustice, and they still have slavery in Saudi Arabia. They just don't talk about it. And they abuse those folks. And they fund the massacres and the violence throughout Nigeria and everywhere else. Why not some schools? These people invest in Europe. They build stores and hotels. They invest something in the white countries. But for the black Muslims who embrace their Islam, what do they get out of it? Oh, well, we're one family. Bullshit. I've heard that for Christianity. At least we're honest that it doesn't exist. You want to meet a coon? Meet a Muslim black who's Muslim first, black never. And there are a lot of them. And they'll always find a way to justify injustice against black people. In fact, you're not a Muslim, Mr. Hurd. If a bunch of folks cut your throat, you're an unbeliever. Did you know unbelievers are worthy of death under Islamic teaching? So I'm supposed to die. You're supposed to die. Your mama's supposed to die. Mahalia Jackson, Louis Armstrong, Martin Luther King. Anybody that doesn't believe is supposed to die. How can that person be my damn brother?
I'm just thinking about Sudan Darfur. You're saying all this too.
You know, we're sleeping on this. There's death all over Africa. The Saudis could change anything they want in Africa. The Yemenis, the Qataris, they have the money. Now, Gaddafi tried to do it. Yeah, and they killed Gaddafi. They had Gaddafi murdered. Same people. So what you telling me? Show me some place. Tunisia, there's severe racism. Egypt, there's racism. Sudan, there's Islamic racism. Nigeria, folk getting killed, murdered, religious sectarian violence. Morocco, it's there too.
So
and I'm not
religion
saying,
really the problem then? Like all types of religion?
It's Arab culture, hate, Arabized Islamic culture is not friendly to black people. No, it's not. No, it's not. And the little Zanj rebellion, we had a Zanj rebellion. Well, what were they rebelling against, dumb black person? Racist Arabs. Arabs that enslaved more than white folk have, and continued it longer than white people did. Where's an abolitionist movement to free black people in 1,500 years of Islam? You won't find one. It doesn't exist. Slavery, I mean, if you look at it, there's a little hadith where Muhammad traded, I think, 2 blacks for 1 white. You need to look at that guy on YouTube called the Apostate Prophet, who they're threatening to kill. He don't love black people, but he's a Turk that tells the truth about his view of Islam. You show me where black people have been given. So they played Malcolm X. They treated him like he's a star and a celebrity. Malcolm X helped make Mecca popular. What did that do to save him? Ayatollah Khomeini is a Shiite. It's a different sect.
Okay.
And there's racism in Iran. I wouldn't say Iranians are as bad as the Arabs. They're far better, but it's there too. I've been there. They were much, much, much friendlier. Much, but still, it's there.
What about Palestinians?
There was slavery.
What about Palestinians?
Palestinian people have a permanent underclass of black Palestinians. That's why you never see their asses over here lobbying to get us to support Palestinians. I asked a Palestinian over 20 years ago, why not send some black Palestinians on a tour? That would help at least get other people. That guy looked at me like he caught an attitude. All I was doing was, hey, how could we help get the word out? So the Palestinians practice racism. The word abiyat, slave, is the same word used. Show me an important black Palestinian that you know of. Name one.
I can't think of one off the top of my head.
That's exactly my point.
Jesus, right? Well, Jesus was a Palestinian. So it'd be saying.
Yeah, but the Palestinian, no, not in the same sense. So look,
okay,
the Palestinian blacks are marginalized. They do not get the same treatment, and they are discriminated against. Sure they are. Go Google it. Go look it up. Find out. Yes, they don't like being persecuted by the Israelis, but they're catching hell all around.
Okay.
Fact. There's slavery in the Ottoman Empire, and the whole thing about castrating and bringing black boys in to be screwed in the behind, but only after you cut off their penis and their scrotum. You get 100 boys, cut off all this stuff, and the 10 that survived were the ones you sent on to be slaves.
Yeah, I'm actually, we're going to wrap it up, but I want to talk to you again very soon about wrap up this segment. It flew by. But I want to get your take on the Atlanta child murders. I know that the mayor of Atlanta and I guess the GBI, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, had reopened the case earlier this year, I believe, to investigate what really went down with that.
He didn't do it, but they wanted, what's his face, the fat one. Come on, the fat light-skinned one, Maynard Jackson.
Maynard Jackson. Okay,
They wanted to prove, they were willing to sacrifice those black kids' lives to bring in white capital, to prove that Atlanta was a sea of tranquility, and they were willing to put that off on him. Okay, that man didn't kill him. Yes, Wayne Williams, who looked like the former President Howard, Patrick Swigert, looked just like Wayne Williams. Wayne Williams didn't do all that stuff. In fact, I just want to mention to you, Haiti is in flames. That's been kept out of the news. The black people have rebelled against the LGBTQ narco traffickers of the Ballhead Party. This is a bisexual group of narco terrorists that Obama and the Clintons put over the people against the will. Haiti is in the midst of a revolution right now.
Wow.
And these people are burning up everything.
Right? It's not being televised.
It's not being televised, and you know what? You're not hearing anything from the CDC. It's probably because they're on the side of the bisexual drug traffickers that exploit the people. It's really sick. It's really sick that Obama and Hillary and them allowed the pedophiles and the sex traffickers to do all rape, massacre, abuse, doodle in the water, steal 1/3 of the land. They did everything. This happened under Obama. What a despicable man, and what a despicable people that refuse to see what he's done to the people in Libya, and in Haiti. And what he's done to us, he's set us down on this brokeback road of auto-genocide. And we saw, well, at least a black man was in the White House. I had a cousin named Warren G. Harding, passing for white, that was president. You had people of black blood in the White House, but if it doesn't do a damn thing about liberating us, we don't need status, we need substance. I don't want a bill about reparations, I want my damn check.
Yeah, I know they have this weekend. They're having the first ADOS conference down in Louisville, up in Louisville, Kentucky. I believe Yvette Carnell and Tone Talk.
Well,
Project.
Well, I hope that works out. Whatever they're doing, okay. we do need reparations, but it needs to be so much deeper, and it needs to be controlled by us. It needs to be really well thought out. It needs to be truly, truly well organized and well thought out. And as I said, I am a reciprocal Pan-Africanist. I'm with the professor of Black Authority, that it's a two-way street for Pan-Africanism. So I'm right there, right? That's me. I'm a reciprocal Pan-Africanist. If it's just Pan-Africanism, like we bake the cake and make the fries and the chicken, set the table and they eat, to hell with that. I'll keep my pan to myself. But we need to be connected to people throughout the diaspora, but we need to be united here first. And one of the things, again, I'll keep criticizing ADOS until ADOS makes the preservation of the black family, and that God created man and woman, not Adam, Eve, Steve, and everybody else, and drag queenola and all this gender dysphoria and gender expression crap. We must be able to come together as black people, but first man and woman and parents and children and families. The preservation of the black family, the beatification of the black woman as a queen, not as a dude with boobs with a nasty attitude, but as a queen that's regal, that knows how to use feminine power with dignity. And for the black man to learn how to be a man, and being a man isn't having the biggest penis or screwing the most women or doing the most fighting, but learning how to, as a little, in the words of Eddie Murphy, rice stick Asiatic men have power because they can come together. The world is bigger than the little teeny peewee, Vienna sausage in their drawers. We black men have to learn that I need other black men, not to hump on, but to build with, to protect, to be an economic, military defense operation and organization. And black children have to be truly preserved, as well as elders honored and ancestors honored. I will leave this with you and say, my brother, that when, and I have to say this through my commercial, you know that I'm working on behalf of a sister by the name of Reba Hawkins, RebaHawkins, 2020.org. She is running for the 7th Congressional District in Baltimore, Maryland, against Elijah Kooning. We're going to get him out. It's so wonderful to meet her, and her office is on a street called West Baltimore Street. And I had such a great feeling because I had a dream about a place, and I didn't know where it was until I realized her office. I dreamt about all of it, but it's even deeper than that. Right. My family used to live just a few blocks on the same street 170 years ago in Baltimore. Imagine me ending up in the hood where my people are from in Baltimore. I didn't even know this.
Wow, ancestor strong.
I didn't even know that I had an ancestor sold into slavery from Baltimore to New Orleans. And one of my great-grandfathers went all the way to California to get in the gold rush, I think, to get some gold, to get her out of New Orleans. And that's where my grandfather's great-grandmother came from. I wouldn't be here were it not for a black man being in the gold rush. Ain't that incredible?
Yeah,
so you always hear me talk about Baltimore. I never knew this. Now I'm learning. I spent half of today in the archives looking at all the men in my family that had fought in the wars, in particular in the Civil War. that moved to Baltimore and had a history of having guns, fighting. And they all in Baltimore. So Baltimore's got something. But Reba Hawkins, have them be in touch with me, brother. And let me say this for the two of us. All of y'all on We All Be. We got to give Ron Hurd a hand clap. But more than that, we need to send him some money. And we need to send me and Reba. There are people out here who are truly doing the best that they can, making miracles with practically nothing.
That's right.
Unfortunately, you fight against the mainstream media, you're shadow banned, they take your platform. I don't even see We All Be. I can't even find you, Ron. I can't find all kinds of people. A lot of folks have been silent who would speak up. The answer is folks are going to have to give people resources to go back to their own websites and to be independent because they don't want us talking. The same thing for me. I want to thank you, Brother Ron. There have been a few people who've always sent me, like when I was talking to you about this case, it's United States versus Moen, Moens. It's U.S. 3306-1919. This is the case of this white dude raping all of these black girls and not getting one charge. He said he raped 5,000. Someone that listens to your show sent me $120 to pay to get the papers moved from the National Archives in Kansas City for me to share with other people. I didn't have the money to do it. You and I know a lot of times people are just starving the hell out of. They don't even have to kill you like they do in a more repressive country. Just if you don't have any money, no one knows what you know. No one hears what you have to say. You can't reach them. Right. And they also know our people are so bamboozled by bread circuses and perversion and deviancy. They don't like listening to stuff that's serious, and they don't seek it out. They've dumbed people down. So the few people trying to get the word out, like Professor Black Truth, I love his show. I love Black Authority. There's a guy, My Views, he's someone, this dude be like on fire. But we need help. We can't do it. It's not just me. I don't have children. I don't have a lot of the problems that bother me, but it's problems of my people. So, Brother Ron, you need money. That's why people don't hear your show. And as for me, just they have no idea. I mean, on Facebook, kicked me off that. I denounced. In fact, I got put off of pedophilia put off of Twitter for posting that pedophilia wasn't a civil right, and they put me off of Twitter for a week.
That is crazy. That is insane.
No. That people don't understand. The people who are doing what black folks think should be done, and Negroes have to stop being cheap, lazy, and neglectful. They say, I wish someone would do this. So much. Well, Ron's doing it. Randy's doing it. Reba's doing it. Darren Muhammad's doing it. I had a brother just come over, the one you're speaking to. He brought me a microphone for me to do podcasts so I can have the thing to hang.
Yeah,
I didn't even know he was bringing this by. He said he had an extra one. God bless him, Dave Aaron. There are people. So if you start seeing me do podcasts, in part, someone gave me something. They have no idea how hard they are on people who speak up. They have no idea how much trouble people get when they speak up. They have no idea that they mess with your money. They mess with everything. They make it almost impossible for you to do because they want you to just go away and let us kill off the other black people. Just take care of you. Haven't you had someone say, dude, you could do something else, Ron, if you would have done
No, I had a lot of time. Yeah.
If you did more hip-hop, more entertainment stuff like that, brother, you got the audience, man. All you got to do is stop, talking about this black shit. The niggas don't want that, white people don't want that, and you got to have money, right? And what this thing is, man, you got to do right. Well, so, look, brother, now, I'm gonna hook you up now, Ron. But Ron, if you do that black stuff, man, I can't have you on my platform. I don't want to be deserted, right? So everybody's scared. Everybody's a coon. Everybody's frightened. And someone like you that's brave with someone like me, at least if we're not brave, we're stupid, right?
Right.
We don't give a damn, right? We'll tell the truth. See, the people like us are very few. We need some resources. I mean, y'all put my Cash App up there. People won't believe that. I mean, I've been able to get some stuff done with small amounts, but they have no idea. Do you know, Brother Ron, if I go and apply for jobs and say, well, Short, he can't work at this school.
Goddamn.
Yeah, well, he spoke up against the Equality Act, and I mean, pedophiles have feelings, and I don't want anyone pedophile to feel uncomfortable when they come to him, right? So
they rather help a pedophile than help you. Damn.
Well, yeah, no, they do, and that's what the CBC is doing. So as a result, my friends, the people that would can't. And you got to put some money. I saw a little white homeless dude in Baltimore. He looked like he's on crystal meth, but he had a really funny sign. And his sign said, "Put some cheese on this cracker." And
that's great. That's excellent.
Y'all need to put some cheese on these rich crackers here who are trying to do something. It's not hard to send people like, I had a brother send me $10. He had no idea that $10 was, what was that, about 4 or 5 metro trips? I'm not riding an Uber.
Right. Exactly.
It's not like the preachers that, black people lavish our traitors and we starve our heroes. Oh, well, Ron, you just love the people. No, F you, nigga, man. You'll be okay. You don't need no money. You just love us, so we're going to, not help you, save us. And we're going to give our money to the niggas established in the back and betray us because, they really need it more than you because you get so much job satisfaction trying to save us from genocide. I would hate to take that joy from you by investing money so you can really do stuff. I mean, literally, black folk are that crazy. So, Ron, please put something up there. Give their brother some money. Send them some money. Send them some mungie as, what's his name? Tyler Perry. Even Tyler Perry tried to put out a real movie, was a Daddy's Old Girl, and he tried to talk about how the sisters have some issues, and the people are so mad he's never made a movie socially conscious like that again. The sister showed him, don't you ever point out that some of us are no good. We'll never. So they would rather him be in a skirt, acting like a woman, than making a movie with the real man. Even Idris Elba, even halfway seemed like an African American in that instance. And I know the women love him with his gorilla dick, but I don't think. So I know they love him, but we need folks to invest in what we're doing. Most of what anybody I know black does, they do it literally like a ministry. We're not even church people. Do it out of the bottom of their hearts. But I tell you, a time could come where Brother Ron could have a heart attack or a stroke, or Short could have a heart attack or a stroke, or we're going to die any damn way. So, and I've had near-death experiences. So, I can tell you, death is real. It happens. It comes to all of us, and your ass and my ass and everybody else's ass going to die at a certain point, which means that if we had something to do and you could have helped us do it and you didn't, you sort of, you sold the movement short. So come on, y'all. Put some cheese on these black crackers. My cash app is so easy. It's $ Dr. Randy Short. The D is capitalized for doctor. The R is capitalized and the S is capitalized. $ Dr. Randy Short. Drop something. In fact, when I go in and testify to the D.C. City Council and go against them for this prostitution stuff, which will result if they pass it in the sexual enslavement of black women and boys and girls and so forth, there are going to be a lot of people very angry with me, which means when we speak up, Ron, we pay for it. The one place that they can always hit us is money. To mess with the dude's money, where he won't be able to have his phone or he won't be able to pay his storage bill. If we keep doing this to them, if we keep starving them, and you know what, black gays matter or Black Lives Matter or whatever, the movement for black mofos, whatever that matter, all of them are funded to push this stuff on us. All of them. The people pushing back, again, Professor Black Truth, Black Authority, all these people that are doing this, they're struggling, and they're willing to do it. I mean, you look at Rover Martin, who looks like Hey Kool-Aid when he has on those bright sweaters and stuff, except there's no smile on it. Okay, when you look at that, these people, he does look like that, and with this little, he looks like like the dark-skinned brother of Betty Boop, right? With little curls and stuff. He needs to know, stop it, Roland, right? When we need resources, and so yes, I beg, nigga, I'm begging.
You ain't too proud to beg on that short, okay?
No, ain't too proud. We need some white dollars, some mulatto dollars, some Afrocentric dollars, and the conscious community is a con if it doesn't invest in black people that tell the truth. So like I said, and if you can't do $, if you can't do Cash App, and like, you know, I was trying to do something for Dorsey Gaines, and I think we got some money off to her, right? But they have no idea. I had to beg for like 40 some odd hours, and sister asked me for more money. Said, sister, I maxed out. I gave you what I didn't have. And you know, Brother Ron, folk constantly ask us for stuff like we have money.
Right? Yeah, they do.
I get requests.
They say, I'm a broken man. Please.
I hear from broke people all day long, and I consistently let people know I'm really undercapitalized. I mean, if I were, I don't worship money. In fact, proof that we don't worship money means that we're willing to tell the truth even when it doesn't make you rich.
Right.
And you look at P. Diddy and all of these people out there, they've got more money than they can buy whores and stripper boys and everybody else and throw it at them. And why are we like that? Why is it the people that are doing the evil we say we don't like having more than they can handle? And somebody like Ron should be within reason. Platform should be able to command $1,000, $2,000 or $3,000 before. Then you could do it full time if you knew you had that. There are people that have it. There are people that have it. And it doesn't have to be all from one person. Like I said, I wanted to get these documents on this white pedophile. They moved it. I mean, they stole it out of the National Archives there. They moved it from D.C. to Kansas City, and they put one in Georgetown University, and you have to be a student in the law school or faculty or whatever, which means I couldn't go in there to get them. And someone, I said, hey, look, I need this. A brother sent me something. So, no, I didn't even go to Burger King. I spent the money, I can prove it, on the documents. Okay, and shared it with other people. So I didn't say, well, damn, I'm the only nigga to know this. So this is all about Randy Short. And that Umar Johnson type thing with and the Set Seti, where they all fight with each other. Remember what I told you, Ron? If I do something, put it on your site. I'm not going to whine about it, and especially if you get something. And it's the same thing. If I have a site, you want me to put something in. If you get something good, and and again, I want to say this over here. Thank you, Ron, for getting me on the Joe Brown show. I know a lot of other black people. We do not help each other. We don't share. We don't introduce. And, you know, if you had something, you know, you can call me. And, you know, I say, well, hey, like, you know Jane Elliott, the crazy white woman that talks about race? Have you ever had her on your show?
No, I would like to talk to her. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Oh, I got her phone number. She said she'd come on your show.
I have it.
No, and so yeah, I just want to let you. I want the people to hear. If there's something that you want that you think I've got, you can ask.
Right.
But you know how those Negroes that do the brain train, they'll call and ask you to do consulting and all this kind of stuff, and would you do this? And I'm gonna make you do. Yeah, and not even think about. Wait a minute.
That's crazy, man.
What you're asking me for? Someone would charge you a few $1,000s. You didn't think to give me 20? And then you want to talk.
It was a college professor that contacted me. He wanted me to teach his class for free, 2 classes for free. Radio channel. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, well, not only is he crazy, but you know, you should put his name out there. But you should invoice him. That's what I've learned to do. Send invoices to Negroes. They stop talking to you. Just send them an invoice. When you want something in exchange for what you do, and they see that you actually want what you're worth, they disappear, never talk to you anymore. And that's how you know that they're a crook. Yeah. That they just want to take from you. But back to that. And like, if folks have something, let's do it. I do other platforms. I just don't like rude, ignorant people. A lot of black folks need to learn how to listen.
Yeah.
And and so if they don't do Cash App, my PayPal is wrandyshort@gmail.com. Send me a piece. They have no idea. Ron, you need to tell them. You need to say thank you. I'm thanking you for Ron. All the people that help you, Ron, help a lot of other people. Our folks have no idea how important it is to support our own people that tell the truth. And you see, Brother Ron, by the way, I want them to look at that Reba Hawkins website. Sister is strong. Yes, she's run as a Republican, but as a black nationalist Republican in the spirit of some folks who fought back. Reba Hawkins at .org or Reba Hawkins 2020 @gmail if you want to contact her. If you go to our website, you can donate. She's out now begging white folk. Now, it's interesting that when we're trying to do something like fight against the lead poisoning, we have to go to people who may not even care about us, but when we try to go to our own, we get turned away. And by the way, both of her sons have been poisoned by lead. My cousin Freddie Gray was poisoned by lead. Okay. I have a friend that died in St. Louis within the last month. I believe she died as a result of lead poisoning. Okay. You understand what I'm saying?
I hear
you. We're fighting real stuff. I've talked coon busters, but now I'm lead strategist for a congressional campaign that's beginning to take off. So sometimes it takes a minute. And by the way, I got to tell you, Ron, my publisher for that book I was telling you about for Shepherd, my publisher is Hollis Media. On the 23rd, they began to work on making certain that my book is done. So I'm going to have a book soon, and
congratulations,
more stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. It's coming. And I got one more piece of news. Lead poisoning. I just want to say this, y'all. Lead poisoning is a key issue. Most people don't know a lot of black folks are dying from hypertension and heart attacks and strokes due to lead poisoning. I believe lead contributes to infant mortality, to maternal mortality. It causes birth defects, learning problems. It causes mental illness. It contributes to violence. It causes asthma, which is the leading killer of black children under the age of 12. And in every major city with a large black population, there's extreme lead poisoning. A minimum of 5% of the children in Baltimore and 7% in D.C. are poisoned by lead. North New Jersey, there's lead poisoning. Detroit, you name it. Memphis, Jackson, Tennessee. It's in the air. It's in the water. It's in the soil. And by the way, Elijah Cummings knows all about it. He's on the oversight committee. He has the power to at least speak truth to power. And he lied to my face because I was at the Flint hearings before I came and spent the year with 2015 with Denise LaSalle. The Congressional Black Caucus knows that black people are being killed by lead, and they've elected to do nothing about it. John Lewis knows as well because I went to John Lewis, and he had a little white dude with really tight shirt on that was mostly unbuttoned with no socks on with the ponytail. Tell me, yes, I'm telling the truth. They weren't, yes.
Working for him on the clock. Okay, all right.
Yes, you mean on the cock. This is what goes on here.
It was a casual Friday. Was it casual Friday? Oh.
No, it wasn't. No, it was not a casual Friday.
Okay, all right.
It was a sexually casual work day. And I don't think he had on drawers either.
Jesus.
Okay, and so that's yes, I'm talking about, yes, this is what you have in Congress. And if you watch the video, and it says, Congressman John Lewis from Atlanta, Georgia. The time has come for us to overcome the barriers of discrimination against gay and lesbians. We need to set the country free. He says this stuff about the Equality Act. I fought too long and fought too hard against discrimination against people of color, to stand idly by and let there be discrimination against gay and lesbian, our brothers. Martin Luther King's beloved community, I believe, is fulfilled in marriage between any two people that love each other. Why can't we just love each other? This is really crazy. This is a black leader? Where is he leading us to? A bathhouse with G-strings on? Come on, man. Come on, black folk. And y'all got that little bald-headed Elton John effeminate, what's it, Cohen? He should be called Hohen. Eating a bucket of chicken. Yeah, and sucking on the bones in front of the committee. Sending signals, virtue signaling. Yeah, he did. That's what that was. You hadn't thought of it that way.
No.
No, that's what they're saying. No, I'm up here. See, y'all lucky. Y'all slow down there. It's really awful here. People just don't know. They just don't know. They just don't know that people do stuff like suck on peach seeds and chicken bones, and you think they're just eating, and that person's trying to see who's getting into them. Them doing the. It's like, and so that's what Cohen was doing. Nasty freak. Anyway, we got to get off here. I know you got to go. But definitely send me a piece. Put up my PayPal thing and put your thing out there. Yes, we begging. Beg.
Yeah, right. Ain't too proud to beg.
In the name of Jesus. Yes, you know what? And send us, if you don't like them, send us your white dollars.
That's right.
We'll take care of them for you.
The only color that matters is green. God bless Dr. Short. We love you madly, man. Take care.
All right. See you. Bye-bye.
Peace.